A long time ago, there was a fisherman who was so old and poor that he barely had enough money to support his wife and 3 kids. He went every day to fish very early, and each day he made a rule not to throw his nets more than 4 times. One morning, he set out and ended up at the shore. After taking off his clothes, he threw his nets. As he pulled them toward the bank, he felt a heavy weight. It made him feel great that he thought he had caught a big fish. But a moment later, when he saw that instead of a fish, he had the dead body of an animal, he was very upset. Because he was so upset about his poor catch, he threw his nets a second time after fixing the ones that the dead animal had broken in several places. While he was pulling them in, he felt another heavy feeling, which made him think they were full of fish. Sadly, all he found was a big basket full of trash. He was really mad. "O Fortune," he said, "do not trifle thus with me, a poor fisherman who can hardly support his family." That being said, he threw away the trash. Then, after washing his nets to get rid of the dirt, he did it again. Although he only drew in mud, shells, and stones. He was dreading losing hope. He threw his nets a 4th time after that. He had a hard time luring them in when he thought he had someone fishing. Even though there were no fish, he did find a yellow pot that seemed heavy and full of something. It was also sealed with lead that looked like a seal. He felt happy. "I will sell it to the founder," he said. "With the money I shall get for it I shall buy a measure of wheat." He looked at every side of the jar and shook it to see if it would make noise. He didn't hear anything, though, and the way the seal and lid felt made him think there must be something valuable inside. To find out, he grabbed his knife and opened it somewhat awkwardly. He turned it over, but nothing came out, which shocked him a lot. When he put it in front of him and looked at it carefully, a thick cloud of smoke came out, making him take a step back. The smoke rose to the clouds and made a thick mist that covered the water and the shore, which shocked the fisherman a great deal. Once all the smoke was out of the jar, it settled into a thick mass inside of which a genius twice as big as the biggest giant appeared. As soon as the fisherman saw what he thought was a terrifying monster, he wanted to run away but was so scared he couldn't. "Great King of the Genii," the monster yelled, "I will never again disobey you." The fisherman got brave when he heard this. "What are you saying, dear genius? What happened to you that put you in that vase?" This made the genius look down his nose at the fisherman. "Speak to me more civilly," he stated, "before I kill you." "Alas! Why are you going to kill me?" "Fisherman," he muttered. "I have just freed you, have you already forgotten that?" "No," said the smart guy, "but that will not prevent me from killing you, and I am only going to grant you one favor, and that is to choose the manner of your death." I asked the fisherman, "But what have I done to you?" The genius told him, "I can't treat you any other way. If you want to know why, listen to my story." I rose up against the Genii King. He locked me up in this copper vase as a punishment and put his seal on the lead cover, which is enough magic to keep me from getting out. He then ordered the vase to be thrown into the water. During my first time being held captive, I swore that if anyone freed me before 100 years, I would make them rich even after they died. But that 100 years went by, and no one set me free. 1,000 years ago, I promised my Savior that I would give all the world's treasures to him, but he never came. In the 3rd century, I promised to make him king, stay close to him, and grant him 3 wishes every day. But that century passed, just like the first 2, and I was still in the same situation. Finally, I got mad about being held captive for so long, and I swore that if anyone freed me, I would kill them right away and let them choose how they should die. To sum up, since you set me free today, you should pick how you want to die. The fisherman was being very crabby. What a bad guy I am for setting you free. Please do not take my life. The smart guy said, I told you it was impossible. Pick quickly, don't waste time. A plan was made by the fisherman. Since I must die, said he, before I choose the manner of my death, I conjure you on your honor to tell me if you really were in that vase? Yes, I was, the genius said. I actually can't believe it, the fisherman said. Even one of your feet wouldn't fit in that vase. How could your whole body fit in there? Before I believe it, I need to see you do it. The genius then turned into smoke, which, like before, spread out over the water and the shore. The smoke then started to gather itself and slowly and evenly go back into the vase until there was nothing left outside. The vase then spoke to the fisherman, well, you don't believe me, here I am in the vase, do you believe me now? Nodding, the fisherman quickly shut the vase's lid off with the lead lid. He yelled, now, you genius, accept my apologies and pick the manner of your death. Instead, I think it would be better to throw you into the sea from which I drew you. I will then build a house on the shore to warn fishermen who come to cast their nets not to catch such a wicked genius as you, who promises to kill the person who frees you. The genius did everything he could to get out when he heard these words, but he couldn't because the lid was magic. He then tried to get away by being sneaky. If you will take off the cover, he stated, I will repay you. No, replied the fisherman, if I put my trust in you, I'm afraid you'll treat me